Hey everyone, welcome back to the next version in our Learning Python with Blender. So the last time I was having some issues with what's over here, and instead of like I'm not sure if maybe you wouldn't do it. I guess you would highlight it in Word or something. So just click on the statement, then hit copy, then we can go over here and hit paste. You actually have to select what you're doing over here, and I hadn't selected anything, so that's why it. But again, now here's this whole thing, and if we run, so here I'm gonna, let's see, I'll back this, whoops, that's not gonna work. Uh, put this here, and I'm gonna move this one over here, and we're gonna run this. And it didn't move it. Oh, Blender. Yep, that's why. Okay. Because I haven't added in, and we'll get to that in a little bit, so I'm not going to jump ahead of ourselves because we'll have to get there. But this will run. When we set it all up right, this will run, and you can go in here now, and we can change any of these or remove them if it's possible to remove them. All of the things that make that change that we did happen are sitting right there. And that's probably really complicated, but you'll get it. I promise you'll get it. And this is something I don't know. As far as I know, it's not available in Maya. It's not available in Max. It's not available in anything else that you can built into the program. Is it helping you learn how to use the program with coding? Because coding does stuff that the program can't do by itself. You can't write a game engine without coding. No matter what I can make really cool and sculpt and render and do whatever else, I can't make it operate without coding. I can't make it do something. If you look at any of the other game engines out there, Unity, and the other big one, Unreal, you'll see you got to learn coding. And they're C++, but there's nothing in the program that tells you, well, this is what this does, or this is what this does. You have to go read that somewhere else. There's still a lot of documentation, but it is so cool that you can just find that right here and start working without looking up every different thing that you want to do. So the real thing that we wanted to do here is we want to get into our variables. So if you remember back to algebra again, variables are a word, letter that is representing something else. So we'll go back to the same thing we've been using. So x equals 5, y equals 3, and read equals hello. And we're going to go z equals 6.2. And there's one other. And let's do. Yeah, I don't know where these are coming from. Equals true. All right. So these are your basic variables. This first two are integers. They are whole numbers, positive or negative, including 0, and they can do all the math. That's just the whole numbers. They always stay whole numbers except division, because you're going to end up with a decimal most of the time. You can even do a certain type of division and stay with integers. And integers are great for counting because we don't care about what's beyond the decimal. We never want it to use that if we're counting through loops or something else like that. So let's say we want to create 18 of those cubes. We need it to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It needs to be an integer. 1, 1.4, 1.8 doesn't help us. You can't create 1.4 of a cube. That just doesn't work that way. The next one, and I'm going to go in order, is what we call a float. Here's where when you're doing division, when you're doing rotation, when you're doing scaling, even the when you're moving something, you can do a partial part of a unit that you're moving it. That's where you want the decimal. You want the accuracy. You need it to be as accurate as possible. And it can go out. I don't believe there's a limit. There might be a limit, but it's like 256 characters beyond the decimal point. Nothing that we're going to worry about for a long, long time. Okay, and then there's two more basic types. We already worked through the hello there with read as a string. And the string is whatever inside the quotes exactly as it is inside the quotes. If we make another variable called great, then, and we put in this is a string, space, 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 space. What do you think of it? Wow, my brain's just going weird today. And we ask it to print great